Okay, so I thought that it was necessary for me to defend my prediction of DeVonta Smith going number 3 overall. I don't watch ESPN. I don't watch really FS1. I don't really watch sports television anymore. Like I really don't even watch sports that much anymore. But I try to stay as up to date with what's going on. Because sports has been a huge part of my life, so I try not to stay disconnected with it. But I made a prediction not too long ago, maybe like a week or two ago, where I said the 49ers will draft DeVonta Smith number 3 overall. I, I'm not going to say I am 100% certain because anything could happen. Okay. But I will say this. All right. When you invest in a quarterback, I believe I said this before, when you invest in somebody like they invested in Jimmy Garoppolo, they've had a phenomenal record with Jimmy Garoppolo on the field. Now, do I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a great quarterback? No. To be honest, I think he's above average. And I'm using that very loosely because I mean, how far above the line of average is he? Like, I don't think he's that far above where you say he's a franchise quarterback. But I do think if you surround him with the right weapons, uh, Jimmy Garoppolo will be a solid number one for for pretty much any team that can provide him with the resources that he would need to succeed. And I think with them moving up to number 3, like unless like in order for a team to move up from where they were, which I believe they were between 10 and 20, I don't know the exact number where they were slated to draft at, but when you move from there to number 3, even number 3, number 2, or number 1, if you make that big of a leap into the top 10, all right, there's two things that's happening here. All right. There's either a player that you don't want to miss out on, or you need a quarterback. Okay. You rarely see teams jump into the top 5 or top 10 to draft a wide receiver. You rarely see them do it for an offensive lineman, edge rusher. Usually, those kind of positions, you usually wait until, but when there's a guy up there that is as talented as a DeVonta Smith or a Kyle Pitts, like I'm not out on Kyle Pitts. I don't think they will go Kyle Pitts because they already have George Kittle, But DeVonta Smith is, if not the number one, he's the number 2 at least best player outside of the quarterback position. All right. And he's a former Heisman Trophy winner. He's one of the most technically sound wide receivers in the draft. Great route runner. Like he's a big play receiver. And Alabama has done a great job with building up wide receivers and translating them over to the NFL. So I mean, DeVonta Smith looks like a home run. He looks like a home run. So I see them going after him. Now, if they were going after a quarterback, Garoppolo would have already been on the block. Okay? It would have already been reported that, they were looking to move on from him. Okay? Or he probably would have been moved by now. Look at the Jets. Look at the Jets. The Jets already moved on from Darnold before they even got a chance to get to the draft to see what they could find. They already moved on from Darnold. That's usually what happens when you're sold on taking a quarterback in the top 5. Like you just either you already have the slot open or you make room. Okay, so this was maybe a couple weeks ago or something like that. This was on television, but Todd McShay's mock draft of DeVonta Smith and where he's slated to go, according to him. But this was before the trades were made, as far as, the Dolphins and the San Francisco 49ers moving up and Sam Darnold being traded. So this was before then. But again, he's going along the lines, and I've said this, DeVonta Smith, if he's there at 6 when the Dolphins draft, they're going to take him. He's not going to make it out of the top 10. There's no way he's going to make it out of the top 10. Okay, and I believe the 49ers jumped up as high as they possibly could because they needed to be ahead of the Miami. I think it's a foregone conclusion that Miami is going to take DeVonta Smith if they get a chance. I believe they're going to take DeVonta Smith if they get the chance to. So let's listen.
Pieces around him, and I think they're going to wind up either trading down or taking Sewell, the Oregon offensive tackle, who's going to come in and really help them protect the quarterback.
All right, so like I said, this is before Sam Darnold was traded. They're obviously not going to go an offensive tackle with the number 2 pick. They're obviously going for a quarterback. So, this just gives you a timetable, on when this video came out, because Darnold wasn't traded, when they shot this.
Todd, no question. I thought all along the Cincinnati Bengals would be a great landing spot for Penei Sewell because of Joe Burrow and needing to protect him and keep him upright and healthy. But certainly they're picking 5 now, and the Jets are picking it 2. And you have Mekhi Becton, your great left tackle. Now you bring in a guy like Sewell at right tackle or left tackle, and you move Becton. Either way, you got 2 elite young bookend tackles to protect Sam Darnold. You're moving forward, hopefully, franchise quarterback. And obviously in the run game, we saw the road grader that Becton is. Sewell very complete as an offensive tackle as well. But I do believe, and I agree with you, Todd, there's going to be some trade opportunities there because Sewell was a guy I think the Bengals will covet. They will want him. Go from 5 to 2 is certainly not out of the question, but you got to make a pick here. If you're the Jets, the best player on the board, he's number 2 behind Trevor Lawrence, is Penei Sewell from Oregon.
All right, Todd, let's go to number 3. Who you got there to the Miami Dolphins?
I went with DeVonta Smith, the wide receiver. To me, they need explosive weapons.
This guy was the first Heisman Trophy winner in damn near 20 years at the wide receiver position. That just goes to show you how unique this dude is. How unique this dude is. And usually when Heisman Trophy winners, like when a wide receiver has a great year, usually the quarterback for that team is the favorite to win the Heisman. You rarely see wide receivers even get, nominated to win the Heisman Award. So the fact that this dude won it says something. I'm talking about in a field of over 100 college football teams, all the different players who ball out every single year for this kid to win it, I think it says a lot about his talent. And like Todd McShay said, the Miami Dolphins, he believes the Miami Dolphins are going for this kid. And I believe that Tua even came out and said that they he wants DeVonta Smith there. So I can't see him not being picked up by the 49ers. You bring this kid in, you got him out there with the bevy of running backs that they have. And he improves the wide receiver core because then you could move Deebo Samuel either down to the other side, move him over to the other side of the field or down to the slot position. And you have George Kittle. It provides somewhat of a stability for Jimmy Garoppolo. I do think that they need to address the offensive line. Because if Garoppolo is an injury-prone quarterback, you would want to limit the amount of times that he gets touched. As much as they really need to be honest, I think Jimmy Garoppolo needs to learn, he needs to take a note from Brady. Just lay down. Once the rush gets to you, once you feel them breathing down your neck, just lay down, take the sack. It'll provide you with a little security. Especially if you don't have a solid offensive line, but also it would extend your playing time because you won't be taking the punishments. But getting DeVonta Smith on the field, he opens up the field a lot more for Jimmy Garoppolo and for the other receivers on the team. And possibly, I don't know why teams stray so far away from the short game. I'm talking play action, West Coast offense type stuff, like just short routes, button hooks, comebacks, short curls, short slants, whatever. It's like we're straying further and further away from. It's like in basketball where you rarely see people shoot mid-range shots anymore. Mid-range shots are such a lost start. Now it's all about the three ball or getting low, getting down inside the paint, and that's what it's like in the NFL, where dump off, you dump it off to the running back or a tight end, or you throw short. Now everything has to be 10, 15, 20 yards downfield. Anything shorter than that is just viewed as wasteful. It's a waste of an opportunity. And I think that if the 49ers adopt the not dink and dunk mentality, but using, short routes, receiving backs, running shorter routes, try to be more of a time-based offense where, all Jimmy Garoppolo has to do is count his steps back and then count however many seconds it takes for the wide receiver to make his cut and then get the ball out of his hands. So that way he's not taking the punishment. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired, so I'm spitting all this out while trying my best not to fall asleep. But I think DeVonta Smith will be a huge addition, and this is why I think they're going to take him. And somebody said to me that what makes you think that they're going to take a wide receiver when they already said they were going to take a quarterback? When have we ever known teams to be honest about their plans? And what were they going to say? Yeah, we're going to try to draft DeVonta Smith number 3 and give teams that really want this kid, give teams an opportunity to, like, if they really want this dude, teams will probably sell out. If they feel like he could be a missing piece, teams will sell out for him. Especially Miami Dolphins. They'll try their best to move up. They will try and I think that's who the 49ers are contending with, are the Miami Dolphins. But that's neither here nor there. But I do think that DeVonta Smith will be the number 3 pick. And Tom McShay a couple weeks ago had the same thing. And he obviously the kid was going to a different team, but that's also, part of my reasoning for why the 49ers moved up to number 3 is because they're trying to beat out the Miami Dolphins. Because the Miami Dolphins are in the market for a receiver. And DeVonta Smith is the best one up there. So, all right, man, that's it, man. I just wanted to show that little clip, man, of pretty much me and Todd McShay thinking the same thing. But, hey, I could be wrong, There's a chance that they could go a quarterback, which would be completely wasteful. It wouldn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for you to have a top 5 quarterback, a top 5 pick at quarterback on your roster when you still got the guy that you gave franchise quarterback money to, 2 or 3 years ago. So, which I think he still has a year or 2 left on his deal. So, it just wouldn't make any sense. But, all right, that's it, man. I'm done.